I was watching a bunch of TikToks about manifestation. I was like, what do I have to lose?
Yeah.
Like, what's the worst that can happen if I just start saying all my affirmations and saying all these positive things?
So did you just like tell yourself, or did you write these things down?
I would write it down. I would tell myself, like, every morning I would go over the things, like my goals, what I wanted, what I was doing,
Nice.
what I was going to do to get there. And I look back, I still have the list that I wrote in January.
Welcome back to the False Line Podcast here with episode 157. We have a special guest. I can call you a friend, Melissa Mendoza, right? I'm sorry. I get last names wrong.
I can call you a friend.
Hey, I can't call a lot of people friends, you know?
You know?
So I appreciate that. So we've talked about doing a podcast for a while. And we never really made it happen. What would the term be called? Like conflict of interest? Is that the right verbiage?
I don't know. I don't think so. No.
Because like when I had my in the past, like it was more than me.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying?
I remember that now. Yeah.
Is that the right verbiage that I'm using?
Sense.
Okay.
Yep,
Okay.
Yep.
So now like there's no issues.
Okay.
So yeah. How was Thanksgiving?
It was good. A little depressing.
Don't say that. Why?
Well, not depressing. So every year for like the past few years, my family, my mom and dad usually go to Mexico to visit my grandma for Thanksgiving, Christmas. So because of work, I can't ever take off. So I spend it here. So it's just
Oh, so they leave?
Yeah, they spend the holidays in Mexico
Every year?
Just about for like the last 4 or 5 years.
Really? They don't ever get scared?
No, they don't go too deep into Mexico. They're like 30, 45 minutes past the border.
Well, wouldn't that like the most, like, where's the most sketchiest?
No.
Really?
No, it's pretty safe there. They go pretty often.
What part is it?
Coahuila, Nava Coahuila.
I don't know. So like your family leaves and you're kind of by yourself?
Yeah.
That's kind of suck.
It does. Usually my sister will come down and I'll spend it with her.
Mm-hmm.
But she lives in Corpus and her husband's family was going to visit them, so she couldn't come down.
Oh.
So I just spent it with my cousin, but I did get to have my kids for a bit, so.
Really?
Wasn't super depressing, but still.
Were you like lonely?
Yeah. I think it just sucks because like growing up, we used to have huge family get-togethers, like all 500 cousins would show up. And
oh, shit.
That's just what I was used to. So now like everyone's grown, doing their own thing.
Yeah. Sucks growing up.
It sucks.
Yeah.
Freaking sucks.
Mine wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was yours?
It was good. I was gonna be funny and be like, thank you for asking. Now I spent time with my family. I told you like today I met my girlfriend's parents for the first time.
How fun.
So that was exciting.
Yeah.
And I felt good. She was happy. I was happy about it.
Did they like you?
I think so. She thinks so. So yeah, fingers crossed, and hopefully, it works out good.
Yeah.
So
fingers crossed.
I know. So, I guess a reason why I wanted to have you on, I mean, besides that you're a good friend, like we've had a lot of very interesting conversations about like different things.
Yeah.
And I want to get into that. But first, I guess I want to talk about like kind of how you got into the car business, because I think it's not weird, but different for a girl to be in the sales industry or in that like I guess in that career.
Yeah.
So how did that all start?
So I actually started as a receptionist last year in November.
That's pretty.
Yeah, pretty spot on.
Yeah.
So Christy, she was a receptionist before me, and she posted on Facebook that they were hiring for a receptionist. At the time, I was looking for a job. It was like right after COVID had made everyone lose their jobs, so I needed to find something.
What were you doing before again?
Before
you started being a receptionist.
I worked at Metro.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Were you selling phones?
Hated it there, yeah.
Why you hate it there?
Hated it there. It was awful.
What was bad about it?
I mean, it was a sales job too, but it was just like, I don't know. Phone sales is sketchy.
Yeah.
Like, people think car sales are bad. No, phone sales are sketchy.
I used to work for Sprint.
Yeah, so you know.
I actually,
Bad.
I'm gonna cut y'all out just to go into a little story here. I had this guy that came in and he told me he worked for Sprint, but third party. And I don't know how much you know about like the phone sales stuff, but I worked for corporate Sprint. So then there was third party.
Yeah.
So he would tell me like some real sketchy stuff because we talked about this like 2 weeks ago. He was a customer that went to the dealership and he was like, "Hey, so what you do before?" And I was like, "Oh, well, I used to sell phones and blah blah blah." He's like, "Where?" And I was like, "Sprint." He's like, "That's where I kind of remember you from." And then he's like, "Yeah, bro, we used to do some fucked up shit." And I was like, I didn't really want to do it, but I kind of didn't have a choice.
Exactly. Like, they'd bully you into it.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
bad.
And then like that was done. I was like, bro, people talk about car salesmen. Telephone people are the worst. Like,
worst.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
It's fucked up.
Yeah, but do you know any fucked up stories?
I mean,
that maybe you could tell.
Oh, I don't know. I can't really remember them, but I just remember like always feeling really bad at the end of the day because I'd watch like my coworkers like genuinely fuck over like old people or like unsuspecting.
How would they fuck over customers?
So like we would get paid like it's commission based. So like the more people you get to sign up or the more phones you sell, obviously the more you make. So they just convince people like to add random lines to their account. And it was prepaid. So, I mean, most of the time, like they weren't really fucking people over because for example, like we'd have these promotions all the time. They'd be like, if you add a line, you get a free device.
Yeah, free phone.
So they would tell people like, hey, add this line. You're going to pay maybe like $50 to get this phone. Next month, just come and cancel it. Because it's prepaid. It's not going to affect you either way.
Oh, I see.
So like we get the commission for adding the line. The customer pays $50 and they get a new phone that they're going to come cancel next month. So I mean, they were fucking over the company.
Y'all were telling people that?
Oh, no.
Oh, maybe you can't. Hold on. I need to mess with this real quick.
Okay.
Hello? Oh, I went away.
Oh yeah, the static.
Nice, but I knew it was one of the cables. But okay, I'm sorry. I'm just weird. Now I'm tripped out because I can't hear it. Yeah. So that's, I guess. So you guys were basically messing up with the company, but then again, it would kind of work in y'all's favor because y'all were selling new lines, right?
Yeah, I mean, we were getting new devices added. So I mean, the company was thrilled. They were like, "Oh yeah, look, they're selling all these phones."
How hard were they on like quotas?
Super hard.
Right.
So we had this group me with all I think there were 7 stores in Waco that were owned by one owner, one franchise, whatever. And all 7 stores, every employee from all 7 stores was in one group me. And every hour we'd have to post our sales for the
numbers?
Day. Yeah, our numbers for the day. And
damn, that's annoying.
Yeah. And if your numbers weren't where they needed to be, like here come the owners talking shit in the group chat.
Really? Yeah, see, selling phones was a bitch. It's worse than cars.
Way worse.
Because like for cars, like they're not annoying. Like if you, now that I think about it, they're not annoying. Like because my manager was up my ass. I hated that bitch.
Same.
Fuck her. I don't care if she watches this. Fuck you. But she was mean, bro.
Was
like she hurt my feelings. Damn. She got me fired. Like I kind of like asked for it, but she got me fired on Halloween.
Damn.
I was like, you couldn't wait till like the first of Thanksgiving. Like, why you have to do it today?
At least you got Halloween off to go be.
I didn't even. I was sad. I was so sad. I was like, I got fired. I just had like my year, like 2 days before that. But one thing that was really fucked up that we did, I don't care because I don't think Sprint's even a company anymore. And they have a lot of like lawsuits against them right now. Yeah. Are you ready? Okay.
It's gonna start getting cold.
You're right. I was thinking about that. We got hot chocolate here. Since Melissa was being a fatty and she was like, "I want food."
His executive producer for.
Executive producer, my special assistant, my LOML, right? Yeah, LL. Yeah.
Yeah, letters are hard.
Yeah, I know for me. Yeah. But one fucked up thing that we would do is that like. People didn't have socials or they didn't have any like form of identity.
I feel like we should not be admitting this.
I don't give a fuck.
Go ahead.
They can't do anything anymore. So there was a way to get around that, and it was purposely like made for like legit reasons. Like there was a legit purpose behind it, but we abused it. So basically you could use this thing.
Could override it.
Yeah. So basically like you don't need to prove this person's identity. But as long as they had like, I think a passport, you know, but then there was like loopholes, like and then, yeah, it was all fucked up. And so we would sell a lot more. So like if people didn't have like a social or anything like that, like, oh yeah, come talk to me. Like I got you. You know, when you just put in like, you did, I'm not going to say what we did, but you did the sequence of stuff. And then it got like, okay, there's an account created. And like, it was a hit or miss with how many lines you can get approved. The more lines you can get approved, like available, the more phones you sell them. Sometimes, most common was like two, but sometimes you had the ones with 5. Boy, you rack up the 5 lines, accessories, and all that shit. The accessories part was like, see, I don't get that part. The accessories was like the most annoying part.
Yeah, it'd be on our ass about accessories.
I know. I was like, you saw the naked phone? Yes, bitch. Damn,
they said they didn't want it.
I know. And it didn't make sense because I'm like, bro, we selling the case for $60. You can buy it on Amazon, the exact same one for like 40 or 30.
Not even, maybe like 20.
And it was just like, come on, man, like y'all tripping. So then also like there was also like accounts like debt accounts that we had that we would like. There was, I don't know how we would find them. I never knew that part, but someone would ask me like on a day that we needed to hit a number, we would find a debt account and we would like add shit on there to hit our numbers. And then like the employees would keep it. Yeah, it was fucked up.
So the employee would pay for it.
Like they wouldn't play, like if it was like a down payment or something, like they would split it in between the employees that were getting this stuff. And then they would take it home with them. Yeah, it was pretty fucked. So
the good thing about like prepaid sales is that we didn't have to do. You never needed a social for anything. I mean, we were supposed to ask for ID, but nobody ever did.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean it's prepaid. There's no way to track it back to you.
Oh, interesting.
So people would make random names. What? There was a whole ass method to their madness. I don't think I was there long enough to like to learn the full spectrum of how shady. Maybe like 6 months.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember.
Not too long though.
Not too long. Yeah.
But yeah, it's phone sales is so sketchy, guys. So if you ever go to your local T-Mobile or Metro, they doing some sketchy shit.
Just know 9 out of 10.
Do your shit online, bro.
You're getting fucked.
I'm gonna add a little.
But I mean, people say the same thing about car sales. So.
But like, I feel like car sales, like, I mean, and I'll be honest, like, it's not that bad.
It's really not.
Like, out of 10 cars, maybe one person is probably getting fucked over. Honestly,
I feel like our dealership is still pretty ethical.
Yeah, which I was actually surprised. No offense, I didn't know what to expect because all I did hear was negative stuff.
All you hear is that car salesmen are shady like
and like
overweight bald men that just want to take your money.
Overweight bald men, but I can kind of see why people say that because it's so easy to take advantage of that.
It is. It is.
Damn, this shit's hot, huh?
Yeah. I'll let it cool a little bit more.
But so yeah, fucking phone sales.
Phone sales.
And it was annoying too, cause like every like week we had a meeting, and it was just like we would get bitched at, and it wasn't even like it was like hardcore. I complained about our GM, but this lady was mean, man. So I'll tell the story how I got fired.
Go ahead.
So they had like a community website for Sprint, and it was like a public like platform like Facebook. I don't think you've heard this story, have you? So I had a friend, his name was Adrian. We were pretty cool. He had just started working there, and he was young like me. I was 19. No, he was 19. I was like 20, 21. So we're just messing around. It was a dead day, and I was like, oh, what is this? I'm going to send you a message on the community thing. So I looked him up and I was like, oh, here you are, bro. Like Adrian so-and-so. And he was like, oh, like send me something to see if I get it through email or whatever. So I sent him a message and I said, you are a hoe. And it was literally like a U and an R and an A and then H-O. That was it. It was like just spelled goofy. And then apparently I posted that. I didn't directly send this message so everybody could see it. And I never took it down because I just didn't know. And then I completely forgot about it. So then like 2-3 weeks go by and I get called in the office and they're like, hey, we need to talk to you. And like they never really ever said that to me. And I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, damn, is it for some sketchy shit I did? That's what I was really worried about. I was like, bro, like I'm gonna snitch on somebody. I'm gonna snitch on somebody. And they're like, hey, there's this thing that you posted on. So I was like, what are you talking about? And she's like, look, it's this. And I was like, yeah, I sent that to Adrian. You know, I was like, what's the big deal? And she's like, no, you posted this. And I was like, I was like, okay, like, and I was still like, what's the fucking problem? And then she was like, everybody in the Sprint company could see this. And I was like, oh. So like literally like the president, everybody could see it. Anybody, because everybody who worked for Sprint had that account. It was like a Facebook, but everybody for Sprint. So, and then they were like, you got to make an apology letter. And I was like, okay. So I made a bullshit apology letter that someone wrote for me. I forgot who it was. I think it was someone from work. I think it was Adrian himself because he was going to Baylor. I was like, hey, dude, can you write me an apology letter? It was like a page long. And then I was telling them, so I gave it back to them, and they're like, bro, you could get fired for this shit. And I was like, bro, there's so much shit that we do it here, and I'm gonna get fired for this. He was just like, yeah. And I was like, and then at that point, I was like, okay, you guys sound like you guys are trying to get me out of here. Because I wasn't hitting my quotas anymore, because it just got so much pressure, and I was like, and I was wrapping up school for the semester, and I already had went part-time, and I was like, hey, I want to go part-time now. I'm trying to finish school. So then they're like, they call me in, and it was literally like, we closed like at 7, and it was like 5. They call me in at 5, and then they're like, hey, we gotta let you go. And I was like, and I called her by name. I was like, you're joking. And she's like, no, I'm serious. And I was like, really? And I was like, over that? I was like, out of everything? She was like, yeah. And I was like, she's like, yeah, so just take your stuff and go.
Happy Halloween.
And I was just like, I was so confused and I was so hurt. And I didn't even like say anything to anybody. I just walked out and then I went in my car and I drove home all sad and shit. And it was raining too. I was like, what the fuck? That. And then that's how I got fired from Sprint. So, yeah, it's so stupid. I don't understand. So anyways, back to your story. You were working for Metro. So did you get laid off for COVID? Yeah. Okay. So you were like in need of a job?
Yeah. Yeah, and I was on unemployment for a few months.
Oh, but that was nice.
It was nice for like the first 2 months. I was like, oh, I get to spend so much time with my kids. Like, I'm going to get paid to stay home. This is so nice. My kids were in and out. Like, they were doing the remote learning. Well, my son was at the time. My daughter still wasn't in school. But I was like, I can stay home and do all his work with him. Like, this is great. After like month 3, I was like, I will literally pay you to hire me somewhere. Like, just get me out of this house.
For real?
I was losing my mind. Damn. Being stuck in the house.
And then you said you seen a Facebook post?
Yeah. So Christy posted that Alan Samuels was hiring a receptionist. She literally posted it like 2 minutes.
Oh, shit.
It had been on like her thing for like 2 minutes. And I was like, yes, me. Yeah. When can I go up there? So she's like, yeah, just come up here. You can fill out the application. He'll probably interview you on the spot. Yeah. I went up there that same day, filled out my application. He interviewed me.
Who interviewed you?
Jonathan. Yeah. He interviewed
How big was that? You got the job?
It was, so you know how we have to do that like extensive ass background check?
Oh, that shit's weird.
It was scary.
I was like, what?
This is intense.
Yeah, it was so funny.
It was a super intense background check.
I was like, I'm lying. I was like, are they going to know?
So he was like, you just have to go do your drug test. And then you're going to come back and sit in the office and you're going to call this number to do a background like interview or something.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, cool. Did that.
Oh shit! I'm sorry. You know what I'm thinking about right now?
What?
I wonder how it went for Chase.
That's what I'm saying.
Cause he's like,
shit. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Poor Chase.
Yeah.
So I did my interview. I did my drug test. I wasn't worried about the drug test.
Yeah.
I knew that was gonna be fine. I did my interview. I wasn't worried about my background check because the only thing that they could have dinged me for was that time I went to jail.
Oh, you do have a story about that. And
I do.
I forget it. You should tell it in a minute, though.
Yeah, I'll get into that.
Yeah.
So that one time, that's the only thing on my record that I can think of, and it should have been expunged anyway. So, he called me the next day, and he was like, "Hey, good news and bad news." I was like, "Oh, okay." He was like, "Well, good. I mean, you passed your drug test. We would really love to hire you." And he's like, "Is there anything in your background that you want to tell us about?" I was like, "What do you mean?" He was like, "Yeah, I want to give you the opportunity to talk about it before I bring it up because I feel like it's something you should tell us." Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, there was that one time. He was like, "I'm just kidding. You got the job. When can you start?" Oh. I was going to confess my darkest secrets to this man. He was like, "Yo, when can you start?" I was like, "You be there tomorrow."
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, but you're like, fuck.
I was like, "Fuck, is it that bad?"
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's how I got the job.
So do you remember so you started in 2020?
Yeah. November 2020. This month is my 1 year.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Nice. So you started off as a receptionist.
Yes.
And then you eventually ended up moving to sales.
Yes. So while I was working as a receptionist, I was also going to school for respiratory therapy.
Oh, that's right.
And I was doing so good. I was acing on my tests. I really loved what I was learning. It was something I really wanted to continue. And it got to, the semester was about to start, and I was signing up for my clinicals, and I thought my clinicals were just going to be a morning thing, or maybe up until 2 or noon. But it was an all day thing. It was a 7 to 5.
Oh, I see.
Type thing. And my schedule at Allen Samuels for receptionist was from 1 to 7. Mm-hmm. So my schedule's conflicted and couldn't really afford to stop working.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, fuck, I guess I just got to keep working. And
why couldn't you afford to stop working?
What do you mean?
Yeah, what was it?
Why couldn't I afford to stop? Yeah. I can't live without a job.
Why?
I have children.
Okay, that's what I was trying bills. To get to.
My fault. Lots of bills. But yeah, so then I was pretty bummed about that, and Mikey convinced me to try sales. And for the longest, I was like, no, fuck no.
Because that's what I heard, that you were really against it.
Yeah, I was super against it. I was like, I will do anything at this dealership but sales.
Yeah.
It sounds miserable. The hours sound like they suck. I don't know anything about cars. I'm good with people, but I don't think I'm that good enough to sell somebody a car.
And Mikey was the one to tell you?
Yeah, Mikey was super persistent. I'm so thankful that he was.
For real?
But see, because he was super persistent.
What was it like? No, what was he like? Hey, come sell cars.
He was just try it. The worst case scenario, you hate it, and you can go either back to reception or they'll find you another job here. He's like, just try it out.
Yeah.
And so I started. So eventually they told him yeah, okay. I know I'm not going to go to school. So I think I talked to DJ and Jonathan. And I was
hey.
I was like, yeah, I think I want to try sales. And they're like, okay, you got to do like Christy did and find your replacement for a receptionist.
So that's what she did to get that one position she was at?
Yeah, that's how she moved to the position she was in. She had to find a replacement too.
So who was your replacement?
Who was my replacement? Haven.
Oh, that's right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was my replacement, and then she moved.
Yeah.
We've gone through 10 receptionists
I know.
Year.
And then the last one we struggled to get, I heard.
Yeah. Yeah, because after Haven, it was
Eileen.
And
then now Crystal.
Yeah.
But I think she'll be there for a minute.
Yeah. I don't think Crystal's going anywhere.
Yeah. She seems like she likes it.
Yeah.
So you told him that you wanted to do sales, and you were just realizing, okay, I'm not going to go to school anymore because I got to provide.
So my original, because Mikey he just kept telling me just try sales. You're more than likely going to make more money here than you would have if you finished school and got your degree and pursued your job as a respiratory therapist. So just try it.
Was that important to you, like the money part?
I mean, before I had started working in that role, no. Because to me at that time, like what I was going to make as a respiratory therapist was like more than enough.
What was it? If you don't, like, what is it, like ideally yearly? What did they make?
I don't even remember what their, but like I remember at the time being like, no, this is a perfect salary for me. Like I don't need, like, I don't care what y'all are making here. Like this is something I really want to do. Like it's fulfilling, something I know I would enjoy.
Yeah.
The salary's fine. So, my original goal was to work in sales for a little bit, save up enough to go back to school and like not have to work while I finish school.
Yeah.
And then I started selling cars, and I was like, yeah, no, fuck that. I'm gonna just keep doing this because I don't need a degree for this. The hours suck, yes, but like our job really isn't hard. Like when you think about it, it's. I would say like more than half of the time we're just sitting there bullshitting.
Yeah. The way I see it is like I think if you could like have some decent customer service, you can be like a medium, like an average salesman.
Yeah.
You know,
and it helps being bilingual too.
Yeah, that's a plus.
A lot of people thought like being a girl would make it harder.
I feel like it's easy.
But honestly, like because I think I come off as less of a threat. I don't fit the.
But don't you think that's kind of fucked up?
But I'm not though. Like I don't think I'm a shady salesperson.
No, but I'm saying like, cause I see what you're saying, but like, oh, like this girl's weak. She's a girl. Like she's not gonna try and fuck me over.
I used to be offended by like the stereotypes, I guess. Yeah. But now like I'm gonna be looked at that way anyway, so I might as well use it to my advantage.
Yeah, that's good.
So now I don't care.
Yeah.
If you're going to sit there and sit, I mean, to an extent, of course. I've had some weird ass customers, but for the most part, like I've learned to ignore it or to like not even pay attention to it when they say stupid shit.
Yeah.
If you're buying the car, then do what you got to do. If I got to be a little extra nice for you to sign this paper, then I'll do it. But
that's funny. Sorry. Babe, can you post that video? You did? Oh, you're perfect.
She knows what she's doing.
I know. She always tells me, don't tell me what to do. Sorry. I'm sorry. So, damn. When did you start sales? Like in March or February? No. Because I started
in February. Ooh.
I got some. This shit's still high, ain't it?
No, mine's good now.
You said you started like in February?
So I started in February, but it was around that time. I started like mid-February, and it was around that time that we got that really bad like snowstorm.
Oh, yeah.
So we were closed for a while. So I don't even really count February because I didn't work that much. So I usually just say March is when I really started selling cars.
Because I remember my first... God damn, I'm sorry. My hire date is March 1st. Mm-hmm. So... yeah, I remember that I started, and you told me like, yeah, I just been doing sales like for a few weeks now.
Yeah,
and I think Robert had barely had a month too, because I remember
me and Robert started at like the same time,
right?
Yeah, we started training at the same time.
That's what I remember.
Yeah,
but I also remember that you had like a rough beginning.
Oh, it was rough. Yeah. It was so bad. Yeah. I almost quit and went back to.
Yeah, I heard. Well, you would tell me.
Yeah. My first 2 or 3 months. I would say the first 2 months for sure.
Why? What was going on?
It took me a while to like get out of my comfort zone and learn to talk to people, learn to sell.
Yeah.
It's a whole new setting and pace, and you just got to learn the rebuttals.
What was like the hardest thing for you?
So I've always been someone that like not follow up calls, but like I don't like someone that's like annoying or like because mixing up my words. Salespeople are always like seen as super pushy and like they're gonna blow your phone up and they're gonna hound you until you say yes. I did not want to be that person. So like I didn't want to be the one that was like, okay, what's it gonna take for you to buy a car?
Yeah.
Like, what do I need to do for you to buy a car? And I know that's like what's ingrained into us. But I struggled with being that pushy ass salesperson that was going to blow you up and not leave you alone until you either blocked me or said yes.
Yeah.
So that was hard for me.
So do you do that now?
No.
It was like
no. I mean, I've learned to be a little more pushy, but I'm still not like that level of pushy.
Yeah.
That to me is still like, I don't know. It's weird.
It is weird. And
I don't like what's the phrase that I'm looking for? Like, I feel like I gotta play hard to get. Like, you either want this car or not.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
And not like, oh, here. Like,
not like, here, let me just cut it down another 10 grand to get you to buy it.
What's like, so, I don't know if you really answered my question. Like, what's been like the hardest? Like, what's the hardest thing? Like, individually for you? Like when
I first started or now?
Like when you first started. When
I first started, I mean, really that, just like getting out of my comfort zone. Yeah. So as a receptionist, my job was I answer phones, I redirect you to where you want to go. Like, there is no responsibility.
Yeah,
I have no responsibility.
Like directing calls.
Calls go somewhere else. You're going to yell at somebody else. I'm just the receptionist. Nothing falls back on me. As a salesperson, like, you take on a bunch of that. Like, you're fielding a lot of the angry phone calls and a lot of the annoyed customers and all that stuff. So learning to deal with that, and yeah, it was really the hardest thing.
So like when you would present numbers, was that hard for you?
Oh yeah, I was so nervous presenting numbers. So I remember my very first deal was one that I split with Mikey. He was like, hey, I have some customers. These people are like, they already know their numbers. You literally just have to show it, get them to sign everything, deliver the car. That's it. Like, it's split.
Yeah.
It's good to go. I was so nervous to do that. Like, these people already knew what their numbers were. They were ready to sign, ready to go. But I was still so terrified to fuck it up.
So you were just like, hey.
I was like, hey, so Mikey told me you guys are buying this car.
That's so funny. It was
so bad. It was so bad. And then he was like, oh, you also need to like do it, like you need to do the full delivery. So like you got to go over all the features.
Was it a new car?
Yeah, it was a new car. It was a Grand Cherokee.
Yeah, you remember.
I remember, yeah. And it was one, I don't remember what kind it was. I think it was like an Overland or something. So it had all the features. Like it had a shit ton of stuff on it. And it had the park assist. So she was like, how does this work?
I still don't know how that works.
So I had to figure out with this woman how to use it. And I look stupid because obviously I don't know how.
Did you tell me you were new? Like,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I was like, I've only been here for a few weeks, so we're going to learn this together.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we figured out how to use it. But I just remember it being so bad. But the lady was so sweet. She was so understanding. She was like, you're doing great. Like, this is a lot of information. It's all good. She was super nice. But yeah, I was so nervous. And then my first one that I did by myself, I don't even think I remember that one. I don't remember the first one.
How does the park assist work?
So
I tried to explain it to somebody, and I like.
As soon as you were like, because you can do parallel or perpendicular parking. You're gonna drive up to the parking spot you want to be at. Turn on park assist. It's gonna start detecting the parking spot. It's gonna ask you to either move forward or move backwards. Once it detects the spot, it's gonna tell you to take your hands off the wheel, put your foot on the brake, and it'll start moving the wheel for you.
So it'll actually do it. Yeah,
it'll do everything for you. The only thing you need to do is put your foot on the brake and then shift between drive and reverse. But it'll drive itself into the spot. It's pretty cool.
Okay. I think only the ones with the 360 camera, right?
What do you mean?
Like the 360, no?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't have them do it.
Well, okay. I don't even, whatever.
Product knowledge.
Yeah. So I guess now, like, how long has it been now? Like 8 months? Since like about 8 months.
8 months.
Oh. So like from that time to now, which has like been the biggest change that you've seen in yourself?
Oh, my confidence, 100%. My confidence in myself.
So is it like now, like you just like walk into a deal like just a lot more confident, like?
Yeah, no, like I still get tripped up sometimes by certain questions or certain like rebuttals, but for them, like my confidence has completely changed from when I first started.
Nice.
And not just like in sales, just like in general.
Yeah, I think I've noticed that in myself too. Like from working there.
Yeah.
The confidence that I have, like to talk to someone and like there's been a few times in the gym I see someone that maybe popular person, and I've asked them like to be on the podcast or just introduce myself. Even when I went up to my girlfriend, like I had to go up to her. I wasn't as confident, but like if I went up to her now, like, you know,
boy.
yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, that's good. Like the confidence.
Yeah.
So like you just like like anything that happens or just like talking to somebody, you just feel good, confident about yourself.
I still know I have like a lot of work to do on myself in that area, but I can definitely tell the difference from when I first started to how I am now. Because I mean, it's in every aspect of life, like work, friendships, relationships, all of that has dramatically changed from when I first started. Yeah.
One thing that you said like about probably a month ago, you said that like a lot of stuff that happened to you this year, you manifested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot.
So kind of talk to me about that.
Yeah. So I got really into manifestation, I would say at the beginning of the year when I first started this job or this position, mostly because of TikTok. Like it was, still pandemic times, and I was watching a bunch of TikToks about manifestation. I was like, what do I have to lose? Yeah. Like, what's the worst that can happen if I just start saying all my affirmations and saying all these positive things?
So did you just like tell yourself, or did you write these things down?
I would write it down. I would tell myself, like, every morning I would go over the things, like my goals, what I wanted, what I was doing, what I was going to do to get there. And I looked back, I still have the list that I wrote in January. And on there I put, I'm going to have, I'm going to improve my income, dramatically have improved that. Yeah. Check that off. I'm going to have, a nice, safe home for me and my kids. Got that. I'm going to get, what else? My mental health is going to improve. I'm going to find a happy, stable relationship. Just a bunch of different things. And like all of it. Yeah. Yeah. All of it is slowly but surely like
coming into place.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How does that feel? Like that you can like look back in January and that you didn't have those things and you wanted them, and then now like you have a place for yourself and your kids. Yeah. And then also to like you have more income now, probably more than enough, and then you have like a nice car, and then like how does that feel?
It's so nice, and I know a lot of it is because of the work that I've put in at this job, but like it's so crazy to like look at that piece of paper, and I remember the feeling, how I felt when I was writing it, like going from worrying about how I'm going to pay all my bills and worrying about when I'm going to be able to move out and worrying about if I'm ever going to find a good man, like all that stuff. And to where I am now, it's so crazy to even, I don't know. I don't even know how to like put it into words.
I think it's definitely like crazy to like look back because, I mean, I think I was telling a few people today, like, bro, like my TikTok's popping. I was so proud. And like, I look back to like older stuff and I'm just like, I don't know, like it's crazy. It's crazy. And it's almost an unexplainable feeling, but I think manifestation is like, if it's real or not, but it does something.
I 100% believe that manifestation is real. I think our thoughts can control so much. And I wish more people would be open to the idea of it. Because, I mean, before this year, I never even considered, it's not that I didn't believe in it. It's just something I never considered doing. And now that I have, it's so crazy.
So like what do you think, what is manifestation to you? Like, how do you define it?
Well, that's a great question. I guess putting into words the things that you want from life. I I guess I forgot what the phrase is called, but it's essentially like
the law of attraction.
I think that's what it is. Yeah. You act like it's already happening. Mm-hmm. So I truly don't know how it works or like how it's worded, but essentially you act like all these things are already happening to you, and
or you speak it to existence.
You speak it into existence, I guess. Yeah. But that's really the one that works for me.
Yeah.
It's like if I'm having a really shitty day, or like if I'm having a bad week at work and I'm not selling any cars, on my way to work, I'm like, man, I'm so excited I'm going to sell so many cars today. Yeah. Or
so like for example, like you said that you wanted to move out and have a own place, and you did that. Like, how does it like that you wrote it down, and then like the time being in between that it actually happened? How did that like connect? Or where's the connection there? Do you get what I'm asking?
No.
Because like you wrote it down.
So I wrote it down like I didn't write I want to. I said I'm going to. Ooh. So like I'm going to have a house. I'm going to have this and this.
So like you said that, but what do you think it did to you on a day-to-day base? Or like why does that affect you that it actually got you to that goal, or you got to accomplish that goal?
So I think just saying it every day and like believing that it was actually going to happen, like truly believing that like I was getting there, kind of pushed me to work harder.
Like that's what I'm trying to get at.
It pushed me out of my comfort zone is really what it was. Like wanting all these things and knowing that if I just make myself a little bit uncomfortable in this situation, I know it's going to get me to where I want to be.
Yeah.
So that really helped get me out of my shell too.
Yeah.
Because that was my biggest thing, is I was super shy, super scared to talk to people, super scared of rejection. That was my biggest thing. Rejection was the hardest thing for me to overcome. Yeah. I was so terrified of people telling me no.
So funny.
Like not in like a spoiled way, but like I don't know how to handle, and I didn't know how to handle a no.
Someone said no, you're like, oh.
Yeah, they're like, okay, your car payment's gonna be like $620. They're like, no. I'm like, okay, well, have a great day.
Yeah.
But I did not know how to handle rejection. So learning that, I mean, that's really the biggest one.
Because I think like for someone who doesn't know or whatever, like I say one day, I didn't say this video, but saying this is the best podcast in the world, or saying that one day I'm going to be at a level where I can consider myself like to have a real good podcast or an influencer. And I've always said that I'm going to be verified on Instagram, whether it's me or the page. But I tell myself every day, and I think about it every day. And even when I go to the gym in the mornings, I tell myself that I'm going to be the best. One goal that I have for the year is that I'm going to be salesman of the month before the year ends. There's this month left, and then there's next month.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty close this month.
You are.
So, but like, and I tell myself every day. And what I think ends up happening is that you telling yourself every day. So like when you're out doing something, you're like, hey, you told yourself that you're going to be the best. What are you doing today to be that person? Mm-hmm. So then I think your mind kind of plays its own game with itself. And now you're tricking yourself to be better. Like I just like to think like you're programming yourself to do more to achieve these goals, because your brain already believed that it happened. Mm-hmm. So like now you have to act like that. I don't know. It's weird, but.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So that's good. And I think it's definitely important to always want to speak into existence or manifest to want to be better and like grow. Because if you just think like, if you wake up and just like hope, like, I don't know, like where you're really going.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like you always have a goal and then speak what you want to do. Like, you know, telling yourself, I want to make this amount of money a year, this how much views I want to like get. I want to have, like, even today, I told my girl, I was like, this person's going to be on the podcast. Like, and I told myself, there's no way there goes 3 months without that happening. Like, I just, you know, and I'm going to work my ass off. And Rolando knows these people. My girl knows these people. And it's just like, I'm going to make it happen. I don't know how. And I told Rolando, I was like, bro, I want to make this shit happen. He's like, bro, do it. And I was like, yeah, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it. You know, but it's just shit like that.
Yeah. But
that's good. And I'm very, very happy for you. You know, like that, I think your life kind of did I didn't know you before, but what it sounds like it drastically changed.
100%. Yeah. Full 180.
Yeah, because it's like, I'm pretty sure it was hard having, like, you have 2 kids, and, like, this is your first time moving out.
Yeah.
So I bet that felt really, really good.
So good.
How did that feel like as a mom?
It's so nice to be able to give your kids the things that you know they deserve.
Mm.
And for me, like giving them their own space was something that was really important to me. I'm 25, and so for this to be the first time that I'm living on my own, and it's harder in like Hispanic cultures because we're programmed you don't move out until you're married. So to move on my own, like my dad was really sad to see me go. He did not want me to move out. My mom was like, "Okay, I'll help you pack.
Take your kids.
Take your kids." But it's so nice. It's such a nice feeling still, like just seeing them play in their room. And
are they happy?
They're so happy.
Aww.
They love it there. Every time we get home from somewhere, they're like, "Mom, I love our new house."
Aww.
It's the cutest thing.
I bet you feel good.
It feels so good.
Yeah.
It feels so good to give them that. I hate the first of the month, but it's all right.
Yeah,
it's
nice.
Worth it. It's 100% worth it.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what it's like to have kids.
Don't do it.
Let's get into the nitty gritty.
Oh, okay.
So we're gonna talk a lot of controversial stuff. And I'm gonna put myself out there.
Okay.
So I don't know how people are gonna think about me, but I think I'm very reasonable.
Okay.
I like to think. So the first topic we're gonna talk about, I mean, a lot of us know what's going on in the past 2 weeks with Kyle Rittenhouse and the situation that happened in Kenosha, Wisconsin. What have you seen on the social media? Because you say you didn't know too much about it, but what have you seen? And I hate to ask it like this, because you've seen it on social media and it's social media. Yeah. But what have you seen on the internet, or what have you heard about it?
Yeah. So, I mean, I feel like I know general idea of what happened. Mm-hmm. This 17-year-old kid showed up to a protest. A riot.
I believe a riot.
A riot.
Say it. A protest.
A protest.
So they were going out and protesting, right? And he was going to go there and defend his little place with his family.
So he was defending a building.
Yeah, make sure that nobody gets in there and steals stuff.
Okay. Was it his building? Was it like his family's? It was his family's business?
He doesn't even live in this state.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he was defending his family's business. He had an AR?
An AR-15.
An AR-15
military weapon.
Yeah, and apparently he...
Go ahead.
He got jumped or something, so he started shooting.
Yeah.
My thing is, there is absolutely no way you take an AR-15 somewhere without the intention to use it.
Mm-hmm. That's a lot of people's argument.
Like, what did you think the outcome was going to be if you take an AR-15 to this already very heated protest? Where, like, what did you think was going to happen? You had no good intent. There's absolutely no way you had any good intentions.
But you can't prove that.
What do you mean you can't prove that?
Like, you can't say that he didn't have any good intentions, because, like, they say, and there's facts and there's footage that he was out, like, putting out fires, aiding people, helping people. But yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah. Like, if you want to go out and help and aid and put out fires, what do you need your gun for?
To defend yourself.
If you feel that threatened, why are you there?
Damn. I mean, why are you laughing? I mean,
if you were that scared for your life, why were you there?
I agree. But the part,
at the end of the day, a building's a building. That's what insurance is for.
Yeah. But also, too, we can't ignore the fact that we live in this country where people have the right to carry a gun. Mm-hmm. And apparently in that place, in that state, in that city, they have rights to do that. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you had to be a fucking resident there or just in those limits, but he was like allowed to have a weapon. I don't know why you need a military weapon. I don't think that was right at all to go out and carry that. But I think reasonable. Fuck, I can't even say the word. Like, he got like jumped. He was getting chased. He got hit. Like, if you don't got nothing else but that, like, it's hard not to pull the trigger. I would think. Don't
you think that the reason he was getting jumped and chased and hit was because he was carrying that?
I don't know. I really don't. And I don't
Like
think.
I don't think if he was just there without the gun, putting out fires and helping people, and
Okay, yes, maybe like if he didn't
if
have
he didn't
that
have the gun, I don't
specific
think he
gun,
wouldn't have been targeted.
he probably wouldn't have been targeted. But then at that point, like, what do you even call that? Like, can you blame him for that?
Yeah.
Like, can you hold him accountable for
Yeah.
that? You can.
I mean, our justice system can, but
But then, like, how do you like justify the fact that like he like how do you expect him to defend himself if that's all he had?
it wasn't his job to be there defending himself.
But he was getting chased down and like jumped.
If he wouldn't have been there with a gun, he
But-
wouldn't have been.
I mean, I know what you mean, but like I'm trying to just get to the point. Like that part's already happening. Like
Yeah.
whatever, and like now, like yeah, he shouldn't have been there with that gun or that
So
rifle.
do I think that he should that
Do you think what
it was
happened
okay
to him
for
was
him to
like what?
defend himself?
No, he was. What is it? He was proven like what? Not guilty in all
Mhm.
charges.
Yeah.
How did you feel about that? Or you don't really care?
No, I mean I care. I think it's insane how little accountability young white men have in this country.
That's the clip right there.
I think there's just so much that they can get away with that other people can't. And that right there is just the prime example of what.
White privilege.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
So you definitely think there was white privilege and the whole thing going on?
100%.
Really?
100%.
I can't say that. I don't know. I stand in the middle on that one.
Yeah.
I want to
I
believe in our
think-
justice system.
If he had been anything but white, there would have been it wouldn't have even been an argument. He would have
Really?
already either been dead or in jail.
Damn. I'm quiet. Because I kind of believe it, but I don't want to. Because, like, I want to believe in our justice system. I love our country, but.
I think it's okay to love your country, but still want it to do better.
Yeah, I definitely think the justice system failed us. And it still proved that it's broken and needs a lot to work. And who knows if it's ever going to get fixed. Because, I mean.
We're still a very young country.
Yeah, I think so. As far as, like.
Much to learn.
As far as, like, kind of what the beliefs are now versus what they were 100 years ago.
Yeah.
Because 100 years ago, there was still a lot of fucked up shit going on.
Yeah. I mean, things are definitely changing and improving, but we still have ways to go.
Well, interesting. I heard that he was getting, like, internships from Republicans. Did you hear about that?
I heard he was getting, like, internships, sponsorships, like free, like, year supplies of bullets or something
I'm
stupid
like, bro,
like
this
that.
guy's not a fucking hero.
And
they're
that's
treating-
another
they're
thing that
treating
really
him-
upsets me is, like,
That's disappointing.
is that people treat him like what he did was okay. Like, I get, go and defend your property.
But, like, now you're saying it's okay. That part I disagree. Because now you're saying it's okay to go to a foreign, like, place that you don't even fucking live there, to go and carry an AR-15. And if someone provokes you or decides to go after you, it's okay to kill somebody.
Yeah.
And that's not okay.
I think what's so upsetting is, like, people are like, no, that, like, what he was doing was perfectly normal. That's not threatening at all. This young man walking around with an AR-15 is completely normal.
No.
But, like, a young black man walking down the street trying to get home that gets killed on his way home, it's just like, oh, well, I mean, he should have been less threatening.
Yeah.
That is what still doesn't sit right.
Yeah, that's true.
Is how people are not seeing how biased that is.
Yeah, but I was also saying this to my girlfriend that, like, there's a lot of stuff on social media. Like, it tries to talk about that. But I just feel like they're comparing too many, like, this Rittenhouse situation to other situations.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of that.
And I think they're not comparing it the right way. And I'm like, I just don't really, like get to the real point. Like, oh, if he was, like, this color, like, our justice was broken. I was like, what point are you trying to say? Like, kind of how you explain it right now makes perfect sense. But I see stuff on social media. I can't think of anything right now.
No, I get what you're saying.
And
like,
it's just like, what are you saying, bro? Like, get to the fucking point. Or like, really, if you're gonna post about it, like, really, say something.
No, I get it. I've seen a lot of posts where they compare it to so-and-so situation, which the situation was completely unfair, yes, but I don't think it has any correlation to this.
Yeah. Like the whole George, like they try to compare to George Floyd. I seen something like that, and I was like, you can't compare those two scenarios. Mm-hmm. I feel like you can't. I don't know, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But I think at the end of the day, our justice system, like, fuck, I don't know.
Got some work to do.
Yeah, it was pretty funny too, because the lawyer that was going against this guy, he had an AR. I don't know if it was real or not. I think it was. And like he pointed it at the jury, and like he had his finger on the trigger. There was a meme about this, and like this actually happened.
What?
So it was pretty funny. But
I didn't hear about.
But that lawyer was an idiot. I don't know if you've seen.
This was Kyle Rittenhouse's lawyer or the
guy that was going against Kyle.
Okay.
Say what? The prosecutor.
Okay.
Right verbiage. The prosecutor I think he was an idiot. Like, I don't know if you've seen there's a lot of clips of him on the internet.
I didn't know. I didn't keep up with the trial.
Like, he was, like, one thing that's funny that was trending for a minute on TikTok was, like, he mentioned Kyle's username on TikTok. Mm-hmm. It was called 4 Doors, More Whores. And I'm just like, well, how is that relevant to the fucking situation?
It's very on brand for a 17-year-old boy.
Yeah, and I was like, it's funny. Another, this is real touchy subject now. I don't know how much we'll talk about it, but LGBTQ community. Plus.
There you go.
I don't know how I feel about it. Like, and it's not a negative way. Okay. It's not a negative. I'm not like against any gays, lesbians, or trans. I want to put that out there. Like, I'm not, like, if you're doing your thing, do your thing. You like what you like. It is what it is. I have nothing against it.
Yeah.
But there's a but. Mm-hmm. I don't. One thing, like, I don't really get 100% is, why is there like a name or a community for it?
For support.
But support of what?
Each other. They've been like shamed and bullied and violently like targeted for years just because of who they are, who they love. Mm-hmm. So they created their own community to support each other through that.
But don't you think like making a community kind of emphasizes that they are different, and like, because don't they ideally want to get treated equally? Mm-hmm. And doesn't this like emphasizes like, oh yeah, we are different. We have this group. Like, you're trying to isolate yourself already by creating a group. So then how do you want someone to treat you equally if you're isolating yourself from?
But how are they isolating themselves?
Because they're creating a community, and they have like certain things going on, like events or parades. But
those events and parades aren't exclusive to their community. Like, have you ever been to a gay pride parade?
No, I have not.
You don't have to be gay to go.
No, I know you don't. I know you don't. But I feel like, and I have nothing against that either, but I feel like if you're doing that, you're emphasizing that you're different, mm-hmm. but you want to get treated the same.
I mean, I get what you're trying to say, but
I just like, I just don't see the point.
That's you don't see the point. Mm-hmm. I think obviously I don't know. I can't speak for the community, but they have been through so much, and just recently have been able to, mm-hmm. they've just recently gotten, the ability to marry each other, and all these other laws that have been passed to protect them.
Do you think that's okay? Like gay marriage?
Yeah, 100%.
I really never understood why it wasn't like allowed.
It doesn't make any sense.
That I never understood. Like, I never understood why it wasn't allowed. Mm-hmm. I'm just like, if someone wants to get married, like, so be it.
What the fuck is it to you?
Yeah. Like, and I didn't really understand the part that it was such a big deal. Mm-hmm. That I don't get either. Like, what's the big deal? Like, if there's just so much homophobia. Mm-hmm. So much homophobia. And it's like crazy too to me, like how they try to tie the Bible to like being gay or lesbian.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, I don't know. This is where I also too about churches and shit, but you wouldn't know too much about that.
Yeah, I would. I would.
Do you believe in God?
No, just hit me with it. I believe that there is a higher being somewhere out there. I definitely feel that I'm someone that's far more spiritual than I am religious. I believe in the power of the universe and manifestations and energies and things like that, which I'm not saying that God doesn't exist. God could very well be real.
Yeah.
I just don't know if I believe in the version that Christianity and Catholicism
I have a quick question.
has created. Go ahead.
So the other day when we had our like Thanksgiving lunch and they told us to pray, what do you do?
So like in situations like that, when like there's group prayers, I will still bow my head, and whenever y'all are speaking to God, I'm speaking to the universe. Like all the things still like that y'all are saying are still true to me. Like I hope we have a good day. I hope we have a good year. Like I wish good health on you. I wish good fortune. All those things for me are still true. Yeah. I'm just not asking God for them.
I see.
Asking the universe.
Why don't you like necessarily like believe that there's a God?
I think my upbringing kind of shied me away, or
was it just like too pushed on you, or like?
So my parents are super Catholic. I grew up in the Catholic Church. I was baptized, had my first communion, my confirmation.
Damn.
Yeah. Sunday school teacher for a bit, like all up in the church, and at my church specifically, there's just been so much hypocrisy within like the members of the church, and just a lot of back and forth and a lot of judgment.
Really?
Like, I mean, I got pregnant at 17, obviously out of wedlock. Never married the father of my children. Yeah. Got pregnant again at 20, again out of wedlock.
Out of what?
Out of what? I wasn't married.
What is it called?
Wedlock.
Wedlock?
Wedlock.
I've never heard that term.
Really?
Yeah.
Just disappointed. So yeah, I mean, I wasn't married. I was a young mother. Stopped going to church as often because I could feel.
You were getting judged?
Oh yeah. Every time I'd come and when I'd bring the kids, where's their dad? When are y'all getting married? When like
get the fuck out.
Yeah, so many questions, and it may have not been like in a vicious way. Yeah. Like after a while, it just weighs on you. Like knowing every time I'm going to go up there, these women are going to talk shit about why I'm not married. Where's their dad? And it's not like their dad was absent. Like their dad is very involved in their lives still. We're not together, and that's so eventually, like, I think I stopped going because I started getting like really mean about it.
Oh, for real?
So like the ladies would ask like, oh, where's their kid's dad? I'm like, I don't know, where's your husband? If I knew like their husband had left them or something.
No,
I'd be petty about it. I'd be a bitch. I'd be so mean about it.
Oh shit.
So that's when I was like, I need to stop coming here because I'm just gonna.
This is like Catholic church.
Yeah.
Damn.
This is a Catholic church. Yeah. So much judgment, and it wasn't from every member there. Like, there's still some really good people there, really good people at that church. I just did not like the way they made me feel. I didn't like the way, like the teachings of the Bible, how hypocritical they were.
Mm-hmm. As far as like what, for example? That's something you can think of on top of your head.
Oh, that's a great question. I blanked. I'll have to get back to you on that one.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know.
You kind of got fed up with that?
I didn't like how like it was very like pick and choose. Like how this is a sin, but this isn't. Mm-hmm. How you can say that this is okay, but this isn't. Yeah. Like, about gay marriage and about having kids out of wedlock. Yeah. Things like that.
Can you define that term for me?
I think wedlock just means marriage.
Like having a kid without.
Do you want me to look it up?
I mean, no, but like, I'm just so
Never heard the term out of wedlock?
Out of wedlock. Like wed?
Wed, W-E-D.
Wedlock.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna
learn
just
something
look.
new every day.
Am
I using it right?
Yeah, so basically it's like whenever you're not married and you bring children into the world. Because like the Bible, you're supposed to be married and then have kids.
But the Bible states the word like wedlock.
I've never read it. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know either. Interesting.
Yeah. And another thing, I think that like the Bible was so like it's man-made and it's been translated so many times.
Yeah.
There's bound to be some man-made errors or like someone just added something in. Like there's no way that I don't think God is a hateful person, but like the way they describe him in this book, it sounds intense. I
What book are you reading?
Or
what scriptures have you read? Damn.
I mean, just the burning in hell and like condemned to years of suffering. Like that just sounds intense just for like being gay or something or whatever it is he's mad at you about.
Yeah.
It just sounds super. Maybe it was just like the way they preached it at my church.
Damn.
The way they described sin and the punishment for sin to me was super intense. I think that I can be a good person without being threatened by going to hell.
Yeah. Ooh,
I don't
like
need to be told you have to be a good person to get into heaven. I think I can be a good person without being promised heaven, essentially. So I think that's really what kind of pushed me away, just a combination of all of those things.
That's like a really deep way to think, though. Like, you must have been like really in the church then, at one time. I feel like, or you really believed it.
I mean, yeah. I mean, for a bit, I'd go to the youth conferences. Did you ever hear of DCYC?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd go to that. I was super into the church. I was in youth group.
Because if you were like thinking like so high, it sounded like you thinking highly, then you kind of got disappointed.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Like, I set this religion up to be like the end all be all, and just to face so much disappointment from it.
Yeah.
So much, I don't know what the word is. The word that I'm looking for is, but just to feel so much hatred from this same place that was supposed to bring you so much comfort and peace.
Yeah.
Kind of like let me down.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't think this is for me. And I tried going to other churches too.
Oh, for real?
I tried other churches. I asked my friends like where they went and tried going there. And it was still, I don't like being preached at. I don't like being told you have to do this or you're going to hell. Essentially is the gist that I got from every church that I went to.
Damn.
Like, why can't you just tell me to be a good person? To be a good person. Like, why do you have to threaten me with this never-ending fiery pit of doom?
Yeah. Damn. I mean, that's a good way to think about it. And I completely understand where you're coming from. But I definitely think, like, I'm really, like, I didn't even really get, like, I don't think I'm religious. But I do believe in God. And I think that I got very spiritual. And I think that, like, I truly believe that, like, I'm an angel from God. Like, God made me an angel. And I think everyone's an angel, though, in their own way. And I think that he wants us to figure out who we are and who, like, just discover ourselves as a person. And that to figure out our own spirits and what our spirits have for us, you know. And I think that once you figure out yourself and you know what you want in life and what makes you happy and what you want to pursue, and you have all these goals and what motivates you and what makes you happy, like, you start figuring out yourself. And, like, I think when you really figure out yourself, the whole, like, law of attraction, the energy part, I feel like now that's your spirit connecting to God or the higher power. And I feel like there's a form of connection from the spirit to God or the higher power, whatever it is. But I mean, for me, it's for God, like God, and for you, it's like the higher power.
Yeah.
So I just think it's like, when I go to church, my mind is always like, when they say something like that I don't really agree on, I'm just, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, or I try to, like, make it in a way for me that it makes sense, like that. But I think for anyone, I'm like, find like who you are and find what you want and believe in yourself and love yourself and be happy with yourself. And then like I really feel like you get to really like I really feel like you have an energy in you and like people can see it and people can feel it. Like, oh, this person is carrying good energy. This person is like good. Walk in the room and you're like just glowing. I truly believe that happens.
You know what's so crazy?
What?
So it happened to me twice when I would go to my friends' churches, and there'd be those. I don't know how to describe the churches, but it was the ones where like they sing all the time. there was a live band and like they were always singing. And twice it happened. I was sitting in the front row with my friend, and like right in the middle of this girl singing her song, she stopped. And like the rest of the band kept singing. Everyone was like praying to each other, and it was very like a heartfelt moment. And like I was feeling it. I was like, this is really nice. Like this seems, I may like this. This lady came down from the stage. She approached me. She was like, I just had to come up to you because I feel like the Lord was compelling me to come pray over you. And like, I'm just really drawn to you right now. And I think God really wanted me to do this. And I did not know how to handle that.
That's weird. That's a little weird.
And I wasn't offended or anything by it. I didn't think like it was a bad thing. I thought it was really interesting that like she felt some sort of something. Like, I think that's really cool to be able to say like, I feel God telling me to do this.
Yeah.
Cause I feel like even spiritual people feel that too. Yeah, like definitely. For me, I may not say like, I feel God telling me to do this, but like the universe is telling me to do this or something like that. But I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Never went back to the church. But
you got freaked out.
But yeah, her prayer was a bit intense.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was super sweet. Like she was really nice. I really appreciated that. Like she took time out of her song to come and do that for me. Like I thought that was so sweet. But it happened twice. Two different churches that I went to.
Really?
Mm-hmm. The other one was a pretty similar situation, but it was like after church. This other lady came up to me. She goes, I just, the Lord is calling me to come talk to you. Like I think she was saying something like, there's something that you need to get off your chest. And I just want you to know I'm here to listen. Like, I guess she was trying to have me confess my sins. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was like the same vibe.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
That was, yeah.
Maybe you were going, I don't know, for them.
I don't know.
Yeah. But I definitely believe in that, like energy and all that shit too.
Same.
Like it's real.
Mm-hmm.
People can see right through it. But I think it's funny because I tell you sometimes like, well, if you believe in God, you know, so and so would happen, you know, whatever. Yeah. But I mean, like I was saying, I think anyone or everyone should just believe in something. Yeah, you know,
for sure. And my thing is like, I'm not saying God isn't real.
Yeah.
My thing is I don't know what's out there.
Yeah,
anything could be out there. It could very well be God, like the same God you believe in. But like, I don't know. I'm not gonna live my life according to this book that I don't believe in to appease the majority of people. I can be a good person without it.
I think it's crazy how like some people like really into religion, and it's not like nuns or like priests. It's like people you see every day and they work, and they're like just really about God, and that throws me off. I'm like, I don't know if you're putting up a front, but like you really believe this, because some stuff is like a little out there, and I'm like, what? Like
I used to think that it was like really weird too, and I used to be annoyed by like the super religious people.
Because I'm still a little annoyed by them. No offense to them,
but I mean, I've grown to like really respect the way people think and the way, especially about religion. Like I will never tell someone that they're wrong for the way that they believe. I mean, as long as they're not hurting anybody.
Yeah.
But I think every religion should be respected, whether you believe in something or not. So I've learned to just kind of like, some people are super intense with it.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
But you know, I just like that's who they are, and I learned to look past it.
Yeah. Interesting. So you said that you were going to tell me a story about Shelby about saying like Merry Christmas, or that he got really offended.
Yeah.
So what happened? I
think one day in the morning meeting, they were saying something about how, you should call your customers just to wish them a Merry Christmas. And then he backtracked. He goes, or Happy Holidays if people get offended by Merry Christmas. And then after that, because I know how like touchy of a subject that is for Shelby.
Yeah.
I was like, Shelby, are you going to tell your customers Happy Holidays? He goes, no, fuck that. I'm saying Merry Christmas. You're not going to correct my speech. because he's super like
Religious.
conservative, super religious, super like right winged, and I love Shelby. He's one of my best friends, and it's so crazy because we have such like we are polar opposites, me and Shelby. But I think that's why we get along so well. He was like, "No, I'm still saying Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
I don't care what people say. It's still the word I'm going to use. You're not going to change my mind."
Yeah. He's so funny.
Oh, Shelby.
Very very religious.
Very religious,
Yeah.
very conservative. Yeah.
Doesn't talk much.
Maybe not to you.
Oh, damn. You're right.
Yeah.
So what's kind of like next for you? Or like what, I mean, we're getting to the point where it's November. It's about to be December next year.
Yeah.
A year ago, your life was completely like whoa. And then like now everything you've overcame and where you're at now.
Yeah.
Like what's like now that you know what you can do,
Yeah.
what kind of expectations do you have for you in the future or just the next year itself?
Yeah. So, I mean, I've completely changed the things, like my goals in life. Before, you know, I was content with being a respiratory therapist, working this job forever, maybe moving out into a nice little apartment and just being content with that. But because of this job and all the opportunities that it's provided me, like I've completely, like, I've changed the way that I look at my goals. I want more for myself, way more for myself than I ever thought I could ever get. Nice. And it's so nice to be able to say that. But honestly, I don't even know. Like, I don't know what's next. I have already started, like, trying to write my little, because I have a little board where I write all the things that I'm trying to accomplish, kind of like your little sales board over there. Yeah. But mine's not mine's just, like, on my iPad.
Oh, okay. So,
like, I just jot down on there what I'm trying to accomplish for the week or the month or whatever. And I was looking, I was like, I need to start working on, like, 2022, what I want to do, but I'm at a blank. I don't know what I want to do.
I would definitely start thinking about it, though. Because I think... I
mean, I have, like, buy a house, maybe some land, like, those, like, the basic goals. But I don't know, like, because I don't... I love my job. I do. Let me ask you.
Yeah, I was want to get
that. But I don't want to do
like,
this forever.
Do you want to do that forever?
No, I can see myself here for a few more years for sure. Yeah. But I know it's not something I want to do for 15, 20 plus years. Like, I don't want to retire. My goal is not to eventually be a GM or to have my own dealership. Yeah. Like,
because I think it's definitely a job where you can easily get content.
Yeah.
Because you can easily make really good money. So it's like, yeah, I don't really have to do much. I'll just stay here and fuck around for forever.
Yeah.
You know, and
for some people that works, and like that's fine. But I just know I don't have the desire to want to be here forever. So I love my job now.
So now that you like did all those things, like, do you think like, oh, maybe I can do this or maybe I can do that?
I honestly don't, because I was so dead set on the idea.
Yeah, it sounds like you were
healthcare.
just like really.
I was content because I've always wanted to be in healthcare. I've always, since I was little, I was convinced I was going to be a nurse. But then I found respiratory therapy, and that intrigued me way more than nursing ever did. So I was like, I had my whole life planned out as an RT. Like, I was ready. I knew that's what I wanted. I really loved what I was doing. I was convinced like I had found the job for me that I want to do for the rest of my life. And then I got into this, and I'm like, fuck, I can't go back to that.
Changed.
Like, I can't go back to RT. Like, I can't take the pay cut because like I'm used to making all this money now. That sounded really braggy. Yeah. But like, I'm used to my income now. I can't go back to that. But I also don't know what I want to do. Yeah. I have to find something that pays me at least this or more, preferably more. But I don't know what I want. Like, I don't know what other passion or hobby or things that I have.
Well, I definitely think once you have some money saved up, definitely explore some different opportunities.
It's hard.
It is hard.
I think it's hard for me because, like, I don't have a lot of time.
Yeah, well, the job and then kids, I would think it's a lot of time consuming.
The hours we work is insane.
I think it's sometimes a little unnecessary. You know, maybe they should cut us. I really think, and I really believe, like, if they had a few people come in the morning and then a few people come in, like, at 12, we would sell a lot more cars.
I think we'd all be in a lot better mood.
A lot better mood, a lot more
efficient.
Yes, a lot more efficient. The fact that we have 11 and a half hours or 11, it's too much time
Yeah.
to fuck around.
Yeah.
Like,
We'd be way more productive.
I probably like work half the time I'm there
Mhm.
and not work the other half.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And I don't know, but that's that, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think definitely like explore. And if there's something that you ever thought about, like just fucking go for it. You know, whatever it is.
I think about that often. That like I have no hobbies.
Yeah.
Like I go to work. If I don't have my kids,
Have
I'll
you always been like that?
go to the gym. Yeah, I've always been like that. Like in school, I didn't play any sports.
Mhm.
I wasn't involved in anything. I'd go to school, go home. My senior year, I got pregnant. that was the most exciting thing that happened to me. I've never had like a hobby, or I've always been super like sheltered, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
All I wanted to do was go home, be in my room, be by myself, not have it to interact with people. So now like I got to figure out, what do I like to do?
Yeah.
What do I want to do?
Damn, that is challenging.
It is, because
Yeah.
it's literally just work, gym, kids, sleep, repeat.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I need a hobby.
I don't even know what to say.
So if you need an assistant for the podcast, let me know.
Yeah. That's gonna be tough. That's all I
It's
can
tough.
say.
And I've been trying to find things to like keep myself occupied, but I legitimately don't know what to get into, what I would even have time to start to get into.
I think the only thing I can think of is doing something that you can probably bounce or juggle during work.
Mm-hmm.
I know like DJ trades during the day.
Yeah, I wanted to get into like day trading. Oh shit! I wanted. He gave me the name of the YouTuber that he learned from. I think he learned from like his seminar or something. But I trying to get into that. But
It's a lot of studying.
It's a lot of studying, and like I try to do it on my downtime at work. But then you get distracted with customers or distracted. You're at work,
Yeah.
but like you end up having to do something. So then by the time you get back to it, you've just lost whatever you learned a couple hours prior. So that was really hard to try to do. And I mean, other than that, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing with my life.
Yeah.
I'm just winging it.
Well, I really hope eventually you kind of like, fuck, I gotta do something.
I think eventually I will. I just have to find, because my thing is I don't want to half-ass something either.
Yeah.
I don't want to just get into something just to get into it and then spend all this time or money in it, and then, because I used to do that a lot.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Damn.
I'd have this idea at like 2:00 in the morning when I couldn't sleep, and I'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna try that tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then I'd buy all this. So during the pandemic, when I was unemployed, I got into like making jewelry, like making earrings and all kinds of other random stuff.
Yeah.
And it was super fun for like the first couple weeks, and then I'd quit. I bought a Cricut. I feel like everyone and their mother bought a Cricut during the pandemic.
I heard about those.
Tried making stuff on there. It's again super fun for like the first few weeks, and then I'd quit.
It's like a lot of things that people do though.
A lot of random things that I wanted to get into, like crafting and jewelry making and
Yeah.
everything that I half-assed. So I don't want to half-ass something again.
I get it.
I want to full-ass something.
Full ass something.
Full-ass.
Nice.
Yes.
Well, I mean, it sounds like you're doing like really good though. So
Yeah.
One thing I struggle with is being, giving myself credit.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope you give yourself enough credit.
I do now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I like look back at like my year. Like I keep a binder of all my sales for the year. And I often will go back and look and be like, dang, I had a really good month this month. Or like I improved a lot from the month before.
Yeah.
I started keeping a journal of all the customers or like a notebook of all the
you
customers.
told me to try it and I couldn't do it.
That I interacted
Yeah.
with, and that's helped keep me so organized.
Yeah.
So I'm learning a lot of different things to help me there, but
It sounds like you've came a long way just this past year.
just this past year alone,
So that's good.
whole new person.
Yeah. It's really good.
Very proud.
Yeah, you
Very
should
proud
be.
of myself.
You should be.
Thanks.
I don't think there's no better way to end the podcast though.
Yeah.
Yeah. How did you feel about coming on?
It wasn't as nerve-wracking as I thought it was going to be.
Nah, it's not that bad.
That's not that bad.
No.
The mics are really nice.
I know.
Congrats on your new mics.
I've came a long way with this shit.
You've come a long way.
Yeah.
You should be proud.
I think a lot of people, it's so funny. A lot of people are like, you still do podcasts? Yes, I still do my podcast, bro. Like we leveling up in this shit. You
That's
know what
right.
I'm saying? It doesn't work.
Never mind.
Oh, hold on.
I take it back.
Oh no, wrong one.
No, wrong button.
No, wrong one. There we go. The
You gotta
clapping.
label these.
I know the clapping. It comes with little labels. Thank you guys. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've come a long way, guys. If you haven't noticed, I should have done this in the beginning of the video. New mics. I have a new little thing right here. It's pretty neat. It's very professional. Hopefully the audio when you listen to this, it sounds super, super crisp and like just so sexy, to be honest. So you should feel honored.
Thank you so much.
No, I'm fucking with you. No, but this is the first time using it and I'm super excited and I can't wait to put it out on Monday. So
Can't wait to hear it.
and I mean since I started working there, I don't know when you actually knew that I had a podcast, but it's pretty, I know it's different. We're like just being there. A lot of people are like, you have a podcast? Like, it's weird.
Yeah.
So
A lot of growth.
yeah,
There,
a lot of growth, a lot of, I don't know. It's crazy. I can't wait to see what happens. But, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
I really didn't think you were about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't think you were going to I didn't think you were ever going to say yes.
You canceled on me.
I know. But I didn't really think you were going to say yes or even consider it.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, bet.
Again, stepping out of my comfort zone.
Yeah, that's good.
Here we are.
That's good. I really hope that some people really want to see you in this environment. And like some people want to see like, oh, I want to see Melissa talk, you know.
Here I am.
Hopefully. We're going to see Monday. We're going to find out how
We'll
much
see.
people.
You're going to have your worst ratings. So.
Nah, I don't think so. Thank you for coming on. Anyone who's listening, whether it's Spotify, Apple, or YouTube, I appreciate you. I love you. Subscribe, like, share, and see you guys next week. Peace. Bye. Say bye.
Bye.